Ready? Hello. Sure. Hi everyone. My name is Tala Saleh. I'm a Saudi graphic designer and recently an author. I published a book. I'm obsessed with graffiti, and that led me to publishing my book. To publish my book, Marking Beirut, which talks about how the communities within central Beirut. Hello. Communities within central Beirut interact through the graffiti on their walls, and how you can understand the city by only reading the graffiti and not talking to anybody. This book led me to a design conference in Kuwait in 2010. One of the founders and organizers of that conference was my roommate in AUB, and it's called Nuqat. So this design conference was in October of last year, and they had asked me to come speak. The theme was the visual pollution in the Arab world, and so I had to decide or determine whether or not graffiti within a certain context was visual pollution. The Nuqat team was made up at that time of 4 members, and now we doubled to 8 members. We're a group of 7 girls and 1 guy from Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, recently the UAE and Lebanon. We're all really energetic, but we're all really small people. We're all short girls, but it works. And Nuqat is basically an organization and a platform that connects and educates creatives in the Middle East through conferences and workshops. And the idea of Nuqat, or the concept behind it, is to tackle issues that we have within the design world in the Middle East. Because for us to come back from Beirut or London or the States and study graphic design, we're constantly stimulated in those cities. But when you come back to the Gulf, especially, that stimulation is subtracted by -200. And we rarely have places to go or museums to see or conferences and talks, and so we've decided to take that initiative on ourselves. It's a big mission, but we think we can do it. And we hope to, with our conferences that have now annually, because we're going to have a second one, have become traveling conferences throughout the Gulf. We've decided to enrich and cultivate this lost inspiration within our cities. These are images of last year's conference in Kuwait, and the registration was it was a high. We didn't expect that many people, and we got great turn up, and a lot of people were having debates and talking about like all the issues that were going on, and there were slight arguments between the lecturers and the attendees, which was a good thing. The conference took place at Gust University in Kuwait, and there was an exhibition space where local Kuwaiti and Arab designers could display their work throughout the 4 days of the conference. And we got speakers from all over the world, but our main point is that these speakers need to be Arab speakers. Whether or not they work in the Middle East doesn't have to be, but we encourage them to come back to show them that you may have left, but we can bring everything that you have exposed outside back into our countries, and because number one, we need it. We got speakers like Rana Salam, Tariq Atrisi, political activists from Egypt, or have become political activists after the revolution, and so it was great. Other than the lectures, we had interactive workshops. These are like giveaways that we gave to the attendees and the lecturers. There was a guidebook and a little leaflets about the workshop, about the lecture and conference. And this was an interactive workshop within Al-Salam, where they had whoever signed up for the workshop would have to create like quiche or pop art from local brands that we found in the supermarket. And so everyone enjoyed doing that, and it was hands-on. You cut, you paint, get dirty, which is not something you usually experience when you go to a conference. And so we tried to change that idea. In spring, to continue our involvement in the art world or creative world, Nuqat held spring workshops, also in Kuwait. There were 2 main workshops: calligraphy here with a calligrapher from Oman, and branding workshop. And both workshops were were amazing. I mean, the feedback we got people not just from Kuwait, there were attendees from the UAE and from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and we realized that having a workshop of calligraphy just taught the basics of how to form a shape or calligraphic mark was so interesting for everyone, and everyone really wanted to learn more because it's an old craft that has been lost but is resurfacing now. And so we really emphasized it a lot. There was also a branding workshop, which was a workshop about creating modern Arab identities and how, for example, a branding and identity has either succeeded or failed within the Arab world recently, in the modern Arab world. We got great exposure, as you can see. There are local newspapers, international newspapers, blogs, Twitter, Facebook, all of that, and increasing, alhamdulillah. And now we get to why I'm here. I'm in Dubai because our next conference is going to be here in Dubai next March. Yay, everybody clap. Yeah. It's going to be the week before Art Dubai from March 17 to 21 to 22. It overlaps for one night. And Dubai being the Dubai, it's a city that has kept the old and brought in the new. And so the perfect subject was to be the lost city of Arabesque. We're collaborating with Design Days Dubai, which is also at the same time. It's a trade fair, a furniture trade fair. And so by the lost city of Arabesque, we mean how can you bring back the glory and the epitome of Arab creativity that the Arab world flourished with. How can you bring that back and readapt it into our modern societies and the world that's advancing? And so Nuqat connected itself to Dubai. Nuqat, by the way, means dots. I forgot to clarify that in the beginning. It means dots. We're all little dots connected together, and now we connected ourselves to Dubai to help cultivate and bring in all the creativity and stimulate your minds. And so follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and please continue looking at our blogs if you have, and if not, look at our blog because you'll get updates of what's happening. We're currently in the process of securing our venue and getting sponsors. So if you're interested, come talk to me later. Thank you.